Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. I hope everyone is really doing well. And well, guys. So I hope I am visible and my audio is loud and clear. So just give me a thumbs up if everything is fine and you guys are able to hear me. Walaikum assalam, and you guys are able to hear me and you guys are able to see my screen as well. So what are we going to do about the dollar index and the USD dominance? Before we go deep down onto the charts for ETH or any others, let's just discuss about the BTC at the moment. We literally nailed the top of the BTC, guys. I gave the shot at 24,250 to 24,336, and it just went at 24,281. That was a perfect top-notch short. And we got the short, guys, and feeling great about it, very much great about it. Now we have two options, over here. The two options that we have, I would just like to discuss the two options. So first of all, just give me a thumbs up if you guys are able to hear me and are able to see my screen properly. So just give me a thumbs up, guys, please. Anyone? Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible? Hello, guys. Well, so practically, what we are trying to tell you is we have two options, and this is either the wave 4 or the top is in for the wave 4, or we just can see probably one more push up on the upside. So what options do we have here? This was our move 1, A, B, C, wave 2. That's what I have. And this was our wave 3, 4, and a quick push up for the wave 5. What I personally think that there is a likelihood that the top might be in for BTC, but we also have a weekly OB over here. This OB is very crucial, so what other levels are we talking about? So the first plan for BTC is that the top is in. This was, some sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the top for the BTC is in. That is my first argument. The second argument is the top is not in, and this is just wave 1, 2, and the whole move up is wave 3, and we are doing W, A, B, C, W. That is going to be a W, a retest of the weekly OB, and most likely a weekly open retest for X, and a one more move down for the Y wave 2022 POC around 19,675, and then from there one more push up like this towards 25,112. So you have two options, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm saying that the top is in, it means that the move down is some sort of a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be the bigger 3, mixed sweeping lows 4 and 5. And this is how it will go. So if let's say the top is in, it's gonna go wild on the downside. And let's say the top is not in, we're going to most likely bounce from the weekly OB that we have here around 20,912 to $20,300. So that is the range that we have for BTC, ladies and gentlemen. There are two options that we have, two options that we have. First is if the top is in, and if the top is in, that we say that the top is in, then it also means that we are literally going to go nuts. Means that it's just going to dump so hard and it's just going to reverse. But let's say if the top is not in, if the whole move is WXY, is what we are watching right now, then we have a very interesting levels for to play some bounces. Now what are the levels that we targeting? Let's say just in case, what are the invalidation levels for this theory of the white count that we have? The theory of the white count that we have is very interesting. This is your top, this is your wave A, ABC wave B, and what I'm seeing is the ABC move down can be WXY. Practically the box that we have here, from here to here, the green box, that box is your buy the dip box, 1236 to 161, practically 21,428 to 20,800. The optimal trade entry zone is 21,191 to 20,800. That is the most optimal trade entry zone. You also have weekly OB. Now if you just break down this 4-hour chart into the 1-hour chart, let's just try to break it down. So we have two options I already discussed. First option is the top is in. Second option is the top is not in, and we are still in the wave 3 at the moment. So if you look at from the perspective of the counts that we have here, the count that I have is clean 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Practically this is some sort of a wave A, B, C, B, and now we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more push up for the wave 5. So how I am seeing the market to do, this is it should do something like this, and then one more push. So practically this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how I would like to see BTC doing. However, you also need to understand the levels that I will be very cautious. 22,277. These are the levels. If it flips, we are literally going long. Why? Because then it would mean that, you know, this whole structure can be A, B, C itself is a wave 4, or the ABC can be W, and we will see how it moves up from here. If it just up like 5 waves, then it would mean that this is not W. The bottom is in wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, and 5. Then it would do something like this. However, if we lose 20,800, that would be the confirmation that the top is in. 20,800 is your confirmation that the top is in. Trust me. If we start losing 20,800, that is your confirmation that the top for BTC is in. Now, if you just look at from the perspective of the fibs as well. Look at just here. I'm just going to remove 0.5. It don't make sense. 702 is the liquidity pool, and 886. So 20,800 to 20,700 is your invalidation. Ideally, it is 20,800 because the W can never go under 1618. It literally invalidates the WXY count. However, if it's just doing ABC, yes, C can go to 1618. But then it would mean that our invalidation is literally under 20,700. Any single closure of 1 hour candle under 20,700, and it's just going to invalidate the whole move. We got the short almost close to like how much percent down? Almost close to like 10.84% down in the BTC, guys. Now, if you talk about the BTC, you know, lower some time frame, I clearly see this move as some sort of, you know, A, B, and C. Well, if you remember yesterday when we did a live stream, despite the fact I mentioned that the next dump that we're gonna get here, I'm going to close my short, and I did close my short on the sweep of this low, 7.5% move. And if we do get a retest of the weekly open, and if we start breaking under again the previous week lows, that would be the short again. It will be simply a short, and from here it dumped another 3.7%. This is perfectly played the way we discussed over the live stream. The first move is ABC, and the second you know, count that I have is 1, 2, 1, 2, and we are in the wave 3 right now, meaning we're going to sweep the lows like this, and it just keeps on sweeping. It just breaks and go nuts practically, you know. That's the bear case that we have, bullish case and bear case that we have. So 20,800 to 20,700 is the key for us. We need to hold those levels, and if we do hold these levels, yes, we can definitely look for a push on the upside towards 25,200, maybe even 25,800 as well. But this is what we have for BTC, guys, and there are two possible scenarios. That if the top is in, we will not sweep 20,700, but if the top is not in, okay, if the top is in, we will sweep 20,700, but if the top is not in, we're literally going to hold 20,800.5, 1618 fibs, and that or maybe even 20,700, that in case we're going to hold these levels. Because if you look at from the perspective of the daily, just look at the daily candle. if you look at the daily, what you're going to find is a very interesting structure actually. The structure can be, many people are going to tell you it is like a very interesting head and shoulder formation. So head and shoulder formation is good. It's definitely great. I'm not saying, but it needs to do something like this. Bounce from the weekly open, retest, and it just go like this to test the 2022 POC. And 2022 POC needs to hold as a strong support. And once the 2022 POC holds as support, and we do get a bounce from those levels, yes, we can have a push up towards the 2022 value area high. So this is where we, you know, the whole the whole bull bear case for the BTC comes into the play. Now for the daily, you know, just look at from the perspective of the price action. Now we are going to the BTC, you know, USD Coinbase chart. Look at the daily. This was our plan, already discussed many times. Weekly EMA 200 and EMA 50 resistance. It's also equilibrium of the range around 23,663. The plan was already laid down from these levels that we can expect a move on the downside. But if you look at from the perspective of the EMA's perspective, we might see some sort of a, you know, golden cross on BTC, and after a long time. Remember, in history of BTC in 2014, 2015, there were times where the golden cross was literally a fake golden cross, trap everyone, and then it just start dumping. We have seen those kind of a move as well. However, for now, the MAs are shifting on the downside. So let's see the daily, how it reacts. Look at the MA. The MA is having a golden cross. But what we would like to see is, yeah, it already had a golden cross over here on the MA. I'm not sure if the MA had a history of fake golden cross, but let me just check it out. Yeah, you had a golden cross over here, you know, in 21. And what happens is we had a golden cross, it crash everyone, trap everyone, and then it pumps. So that is where the type of, you know, fake out it had previously. And then where golden cross. Golden cross, and the bear market, did we have any golden cross? No, it only has a death cross and just keeps on rolling down. But when it literally had a golden cross like this, when it starts pumping, that is where the bull market begins in on the daily time frame. So the death MA cross is not having that of a, you know, fake out as we are watching for. Let's see how the I'm not sure if exactly how it is going to play out. Why? Because weekly is going to form a death cross. I'm not sure if it has formed. Let me just check it. What about the 3 days chart? And there is no sort of a candle formation. Weekly, do we have anything? No, there is no bearish engulfing, of course. There is no piercing as well. If this candle weekly would have closed under 22,673, yes, we would have said that, you know, the golden cross can be fake one, but at least it's not, seems to be like a fake one. Even the volume is on the drop is pretty much low on the weekly. So I don't think the death cross is happening. Oh shit, it already happened. No, it's not happening. We have a lot of time. But what about the EMA? Yeah, the EMA death cross has happened actually. Now this is for the first time it's happening, so I don't know what is going to happen. EMA 50 crossing the EMA 200 on the weekly for the first time. So I'm not sure exactly how it is going to play out, or whether even if it is going to play out or not. That is something I'm not sure. So because, you know, daily is having, the MA daily is having a bull cross, whereas the weekly EMA is having a death cross. Now we need some more confluence actually. The weekly stochastic is still bullish, no sign of a bearishness. Normalized MACD is also bullish. And RSI can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So RSI can do something like this. Maybe we just bounce from this 50% levels on the RSI over the weekly. Maybe I think this dip is for buying is what it seems actually. A B C B 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, one more push is a likelihood is what it seems. And if you look at from the daily perspective, there is a trend breakdown, a clear breakdown of a trend. Clear, because if you look at here, many of time this trend has broken down many times. Look at here. I'm not sure what exactly it's gonna do on the weekly, but at least what I can say is we have a death cross, so we just have to be slightly cautious and play the chart accordingly. Even the daily normalized MACD is at support, but once it starts breaking under, it's just going to have a big sell off. And the stochastic on the daily is resetting. I don't see any sort of a bottom signal for the stochastic unless and until you see the red color over here, it's too strong. So unless this is start doing something like this, we can't say for sure that it is bottom. No. For now we have to just assume that the top is in, and we are just looking for more and more downside on the stochastic. And RSI, do we have anything, any divergence or anything? The divergence is going to form once it starts going under these levels. Practically it dumps like this, okay, and the price goes to the weekly OB that we have and the daily OB around 20,648. That is also the levels where we have EMA, daily EMA, 50 and 200 support. So EMA 50 is our liquidity pool. Until we hold these levels, it can be a very nice levels for a bounce, and can also form a very nice bull divergence, practically the price and oscillator. So this is how it can form nice divergence. Let's wait and watch for the daily to do something like this. So I'm expecting at least a push down towards 20,886 and 21,300. You have a strong OB here. I've already mentioned about it. So the daily death cross where people are golden cross is what people are expecting. Yes, we do have a golden cross on the MA. EMA is pending, but yeah, we do have a golden cross on daily, but at the same time we have weekly EMA death cross. So whether it's gonna play daily or weekly, that is now is something we have to wait and watch. But for now, the price action is we can just play the levels. What I'm seeing is, as I mentioned, two possible scenarios. Either the move is A, B, and C, meaning we most likely going to bounce from these levels like this and do something like this, and maybe flip these levels and we just pump it up. However, if we break these levels of 20,700, it's just going to do something like this, bounce at 19,600, and then further dump like this. Then it won't stop because you have a huge void over here. The 2022 POC is definitely going to bounce there, and if it don't hold, we're just going to wreck everyone. So you have two options, guys. But now if you look at from the perspective of the USD dominance, the USD dominance is bouncing, has perfectly bounced, and so far has played the plan that we wanted it to play. A dump from these levels and a bounce from the green box 786, 886 Fibonacci levels, a perfect bounce over here. And right now we are at holding a strong support levels of 6.93% and even 6.79%. What would you like to see for the USA dominance? Let's say if the bottom for the USA dominance is in, let's say, yeah, there is no bad divergence on the daily. Sorry, on the 4 hours. but there is no bad divergence on the daily as well, meaning that there is a scope of more upside for the USD dominance. This is just warming up. uh, it can just literally go up towards 53% and then probably it reverses, but at least it has scope to go more up. Shit, I should have kept my shorts. I would have made big money actually. Yeah, I did make good money, but not that, in just single slingshot I would have made like a whole 1 month, target. Anyways, so yeah, this is what the plan that I have for BTC, guys. Two options. This blue green box is what I'm eyeing to long if you're holding 20,700, and we are also forming a bull divergence on the BTC DOM or BTC USD on the 4 hours and daily. So if we do form it, we will long. The second option is once the 20,700 levels is lost, it is going to be very, very, very bare. Very bare. Which means that the top is in and it's just going to start dumping. Total 2, guys. We are on the edge. 550.2 billion is what we are holding up. Remember, I mentioned 886 is reached. Be very cautious with the alts, and it's just going to dump towards at least 550 billion. And just went nuts and dumped 9.65%. Practically, this is the harmonic that I have, and I don't know. Many people say that this is not a valid harmonic. Just because what they say that for the field is this is not 382 and this is not 886. Not necessary actually. The harmonic have the rules of ranges. It should not have an exact number, because what I have confluence over here is I am seeing the total 2 move as A, B, and C. Why? Because the move is A, B, 5 waves up C. This is some sort of a W, X, Y, and then we are saying A, B, 5 waves up C. Or even if let's say that's not 5 waves up C, this looks to me like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Something like this makes more sense to me. Now this whole move or the harmonics is going to invalidate once we start flipping the range lows. This range lows of $614 billion. Right now, the only thing that is holding up between bull and bear zone is the $550 billion. That $550 billion is a very, very crucial number. Remember, last time also when we were here at $550 billion, I mentioned once we literally reclaim 550 billion, it's a long, because it's just going to pump towards 886, and it literally happened. It reclaimed these levels and it pumped up. It pumped up towards 886 for roughly around 8.5%. And when we were at 886, I mentioned that we already tagged 886. Be cautious with the earth. You should definitely not be longing anything, nor you should be having an exposure, or if you have exposure, hedge it, because if it flips the range lows, you can close your hedge with a small loss and let your new buys or longs ride. At least you will miss a part of the profit but not a whole of the profit. That's the safest bet. For now, it's just like we just have to wait and watch as to how the daily closes. But if you look at it from the perspective of the forward over here, what I personally see is we make the higher highs. Practically, I'm seeing this move is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm seeing this to have a move down towards the sweep of this lows, practically towards $531 billion, the 5 waves. And from there, maybe we can have a push up like this towards, something like this towards a retest of 550 billion one more time. Flip it, we can long. Reject again, we will short it towards $476 billion, guys. But at least for now, I don't have a view that the US the total 2 is very, very bullish. No. For now, I see the 5 waves on the downside. We're just going to play that one more wave down, and once we get that one more wave down, most likely that should be the long opportunity, at least even for a lower term time frame. This chart is the most bullish chart I've ever seen in my life. Look at the structure that it has. It is a strong bullish case, and a very, very strong bullish structure that it has. Yeah, you look at this. It has a 1, 2, 3, 4. One more push up like here for the wave 5. fake breakout, trap everyone and dump, and then it made new lows. That is what we want to see for BNB. Rising wedge and dump. You see, rising wedge and dump, and that is going to be very, very interesting for BNB. I think the dips for BNB are for buying, because in long term this is going to be the top gainer. If you get an opportunity to invest in this over here in the yellow box, I think it's just going to be a big winner in the long term. Practically you can see that it can literally have a target of something like 900 to maybe even 1000. But this is how I see. I have seen this kind of a chart. Just look at the chart. I would like to show you such a very similar kind of a chart. It has a very similar kind of a chart. Just look at here. So we had a very similar chart and a very similar kind of a triangle that we had. Okay, now both the alts are different, but look at the price action. You had a move down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a breakdown, and we just accumulating. Yeah, you see, it went sideways. Sideways, a consolidation, or you can say an accumulation. Practically, I would not like to see something like this more sideways, but what I would like to see is we are most likely here. We might be doing something like this for BNB, and then I would like to see something like this. A second example that I have along with BNB is Matic. Not exactly Matic, but it has a very similar kind of a structure that it has. So Matic, if you just watch it very carefully, Matic, one sec. What I personally like about Matic is something like this makes more sense to me. A very interesting flag structure is here, and it's forming very nicely. What I would like to see on the Matic is this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then dump. Or maybe the top is in, but the structure looks good. As you can see, the volume is going down with every move on the upside. Clearly indicates that someone is literally getting out of the market. I'm not sure if this is going to play out, but Matic is forming similar kind of a structure, and I would like to short this shit coin. Honestly, if you ask me, it's too overvalued according to me. But just compare the chart of BNB with maybe Sushi or maybe some other alts that you would like to see. So far, this is how I see BNB making good progress like this, but let's see. I have short orders still open. We missed it by hair, or else we would have made nice money on this dump. Let's see what we get going forward. Okay, now let's also discuss more about ETH. ETH also, I'm having a very similar plan as I mentioned over the live yesterday, that once the weekly open is lost, I would like to see previous week lows level to be tested, and we'll just swap the previous week lows, which is a really good sign. We have swept the lows, but there is a lot of liquidity over here. And if you look at from the perspective of the move on the downside, this was a clean ABC, 3 moves on the downside, and then you have another ABC, that is B, and now we're having 1, 2, 3 like this, one more time, 4, and maybe 1440 is the levels where I would like to long. But I would like to see what I would like to long somewhere around, because this is not WXY, this is ABC. So we are going to target 1618 to 2414, anywhere in between. But if you really want an exact number to long, then it would be somewhere around 2 Fibonacci levels to 2414. A very narrowed down number. So I would like to say that be slightly cautious with the ETH, despite of the fact that you have a range previous week highs, equilibrium, and you have previous week lows along with the 1 for 1 for fibs. But still we are above 1 for 1 for, it's good. But once it start losing levels to 1618 bounce and then further dump towards 2 Fibonacci levels and 1414 1442, I think it's a good long from there. Now I'm not sure it's gonna make like this, or it's gonna be like A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, retest the weekly open and then further dump. We will see, but at least I'm looking to longs somewhere around 1440 to 1480. That is a very interesting levels with invalidation and a 1411. Now let's have a look on one of the alts that people wanted. First is Phil. Phil is at a strong support, guys. Then it's the final level of support that we hold, 4.783. If the 4.783 level is hold, and I do see a closure on the daily above this levels, it's a buy. I would like to see something like this on the Phil actually. So because if you look at from the structure that we had on Phil for the 4 hours, it is a very, very nice, you know, what do you say, not a bullish checkmate but the bearish checkmate. Remember I mentioned the bearish checkmate yesterday. The way we had a bullish checkmate like this, you know, in reverse we have a bearish checkmate like this, something like this. So here it is a bearish checkmate for now, and you have a sweep of the lows, we have a sweep of the highs, so there is no untapped liquidity. This can be A, this can be B, and this can be C, or however this is 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. So for now I think I'm just going to wait for one more sweep down for everything and then we can look for longs. Similarly FTM, this level is very crucial, 4167, and 4167 is the levels where I think, you know, is a very, very crucial and very, very important levels for FTM, ladies and gentlemen. 4167, I am expecting at least a bounce from that levels towards a retest of 56 cents. Flip this and we can get higher, reject, and we're just going to do something like this. But however, I think 4167 to 42.2 to 4167 is a very interesting long zone for FTM, guys, with a very tight stop loss under 38.9. That's what we have. Gold, the plan is still same for the gold, and I'm writing my shorts. I don't see any reason for closing my short. Moved my stop to stop at break even. So let's see, 1914. I'm just going to let it ride. One more alt I'm going to check over here is DYDX. Okay, DYDX, if you look at interesting. So we did not sweep it, but we just had a double bottom kind of a thing, or we sweep it. No, we did not sweep it. I would like to see a sweep, but looks to me like that, you know, this is some sort of a ABC, or maybe 1 2 1 2, a bearish retest, and maybe we will see a retest of 1.9, this level. So for now, I think if you really would like to look for DYDX, the OB on the daily is here. This is the OB that we have, this OB. And once we reach this OB, guys, yes, yeah, I would like to see a bounce from these levels towards at least the range highs of 2.72. Flip it and it will fly. However, this is the short zone in my opinion, because this can be 1 2 1 2, and it just can do something like this, or maybe A, B, C, W, X, and Y. But this range highs is definitely, because we are yet to sweep these lows, guys. We failed to sweep highs, we failed to sweep lows, and it sweep highs. I would like to see a sweep of the lows as well at some point, so that, you know, we can have, you know, proper liquidity pool. So this is what I see for DYDX, ladies and gentlemen. Dot failed to flip my best long zone, guys. Biggest key SR for dot, I already mentioned in the Discord in Watchfest group. It flips its levels 2 consecutive daily candles above, and we are longing. Never did it. Just watch it. No 2 consecutive candles. Never. Never. That's the reason I mentioned, don't fall for a single candle. Always go for 2 consecutive candles, be it daily, be it 8 hour, be it 12 hour, or be it 4 hours. You should definitely focus. If you're playing for 1 hour, you should wait for 4 consecutive candles minimum, consecutive, remember. That's all. And if you have queries, do you know, ping me on Twitter, or you can definitely ping me on Discord. Okay guys, I will definitely try to respond every damn thing. I'm looking to short BNB, I'm looking to short ETH. I think I've not discussed with you guys that why I think that Ethereum is going to play the fractal that I'm looking to play. I have discussed this in the Discord Wall Street group. This is our previous chart of ETH, and if you look at from the perspective of the price action, what ETH previously did is hold on, there is some issue with the it is a log scale, right? Perfect. So what ETH did is we just had a dump up ABC move, and it just keep on dumping like this in the falling wedge. Everybody thought in 2020 and 2019 that this is very bullish, buy the dip. It pumped up towards 0.14 Fibonacci levels. From there, it just had a flash crash. Now you can say this is a COVID crash. I don't fucking care. But this was the dump, clear ABC, retested 0.886, and from there it starts pumping like this with a V-shaped recovery. I would like to see a very similar kind of a structure if we are literally bottomed. A, B, C, and a very zigzag style of a correction with a very interesting falling wedge. Oh god, we are breaking out. 0.14 is where I'm going to literally short the shit out of everything for ETH 1810. Reject, I would like to see a dump like this towards 971 to 952, and maybe would like to see something like this towards 2541. This is my highs and time frame plan for ETH, guys. And 1810 to 1800 is my short zone. The invalidation of the short is above 1978. That is a very clean invalidation, and I would be eyeing a dump towards 971 to 952. Practically, BTC dominance is literally going to go nuts. Well, this is what I've discussed in brief, that why I think that this is going to play out in the Discord. And I also have the invalidation. Just want to give you a heads up that this is what I have for the ETH on the hard-term time frame. For BTC, if you talk about BTC on the hard-term time frame, what I have is a very similar kind of a structure that I have. You know, the way we had previously, irregular expanded flat, because we have a strong resistance, and the move that we are watching right now, I personally think that this is 1, 2, 3, ABC 4, one more sweep down for the wave 5, fuck everyone, and then it dumps like this, accumulation, pump, something like this. This is how I would like to see BTC, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the hard-term time frame. This is the one of the scenario that I have. Another scenario that I have, and it's very bullish as well, that this is the bottom, and we're going to have one more push up like this. We never sweep the lows, but we're going to retest the Q2 lows, or you can say that 2022 POC, and from there we start pumping back up like this towards 48,000 bucks practically. Because once this range is reclaimed, it's never coming back. This is just going to be the deviation, and then we're going to target the equilibrium of the range at 48,500. Okay, so that's all, guys, and have a nice day. Bye bye.